Have I been muted this whole time? Have I been muted this whole damn time? I think I've been muted this whole time. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, if you're still watching. Oh boy. Where do we start? It's been 13 minutes and 40 seconds into this broadcast that I haven't had the mic on. I think that's the first time that's happened in, I guess, 10 years, 9.5 years since I started doing this. That's the first time that's ever happened. I don't believe it. Was reading some great stuff out of the Chumash here. Well, maybe that's why I was getting flickered. Is that my computer trying to tell me that I'm not speaking? Is that what that was? I don't know. Let's see if it still flickers. I was reading some great stuff out of Exodus. We're in Parsha Yisro. Originally, in fact, I got to change that banner, don't I? I got to change the banner too. I thought I was in Mishpatim because I was reading in Mishpatim earlier today, and I kind of had to quickly put everything together this afternoon, and I put us down as in Parsha Mishpatim. We are not. We are in Yisro, which is what I was reading from. So let's change the banner. I was able to change everything else, the Facebook, the Rumble. Welcome to the Nexus. welcome to the Nexus, a weekly Torah chat, Torah study, conversation, ongoing biblical conversation, where you are welcome to join in. Click that link right over here. We've got a StreamYard link, which is the link to get in, and we have a StreamYard and a Chabad link, and that gets you to the material that we're looking at today. Which is in Exodus, Parsha, let's see, what is Yisro? Start on 18, chapter 18. So, here we go. Are we doing it? There, okay. It's been one of those days. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you tuning in. Jethro, the ultimate ger. Jethro is the ultimate ger, really. If you heard any, if I didn't have the darn thing muted, I guess I had a lot of things to say, didn't I? Okay, just didn't get to say them. I don't remember where I was. Rosalie, where are you? Come back. Okay. Parsha Yisro. Yisro is the father-in-law, Jethro, in Hebrew, Yisro. Jethro was a very cool cat. He was a good guy. He stood up to Pharaoh when the new Pharaoh, when he ordered the extermination of the Israelite firstborn. He said no and took the staff that I think Moses later carries, which was also carried by Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and that had been taken when the Hebrews were enslaved, and he took some of that back when he left. He was one of 3 advisors to Pharaoh. There was Jethro, who said, "Hell no, you can't do this. It's wrong," and stood up to him. And Job, who stayed silent. Jethro fled. Job stayed silent, and it was and Baal said, "Go, do. You're Pharaoh. You can do what you want. They're nothing." So it's a different look at who Jethro is, but there's not a book on Jethro. There's a Parsha of the Torah named after him, but go read Job, knowing that Job was the one who stayed silent. When Pharaoh went to his consultant saying, "I'd like to wipe out the firstborn Hebrews," Job stayed silent. And now you understand why his trial was what it was. Because he had to lose everything too. And God lost a lot of his children because of probably because of his silence. So the man is honored with this week's Torah portion. The man is honored by having it named after him because he is just a groovy dude. He sets up the court system that's used. Still to this day, it's the basis of how you do a Jewish court. I would dare say even a Noahide court should say something else like this. But even in the end, there won't be a Noahide court. It's going to be a Torah court worldwide, okay, in the same denominations that we're seeing here. save no Moshe, but we will have a priesthood. I don't understand why people don't like when I say age of the priest, that the age of the rabbis is coming to an end or is already ended and we're moving into the age of the priest. I would think the rabbis would be happy about that. I mean, that's the age of the rabbi. The rabbi was as important as prophets and judges. There's an age of judges. There is an age of prophets. There's an age of the rabbi. They're only the thread that held, that kept the community together. If it wasn't for the rabbi, of course, Torah. But if it wasn't for the rabbis, there would be no Israel. There'd be no Jews today. They'd be whatever, Italians. I don't know. So when I said the age of the rabbi is about to close, I've had complaints. I said that. I said, no, it's not a bad thing. It means the age of the Cohen, the age of the priest. That means the age of the temple. That's what we want to shoot for, right? And that's what we want to shoot for it. It's going to happen whether we shoot for it or not. But it's better to ride a wave than face it head on. You know what I mean? So I wanted to discuss how they advise judges and appoint judges. Oh, also one thing that, and this makes you wonder if Jethro was what it meant to be a high priest of Midian, which is where Moses finally rested once he expelled himself after the ordeal in Egypt. This thing flickers and I don't understand why. With that deal, that ordeal, it was Jethro who took Moses in, and father-in-law, and where that led. And although he doesn't say until after the giving of the 10, when he arrives in camp, I think it was after the 10. He arrives in camp and says, "Now I know the God of Israel is the God of all gods." But I don't think he was not unaware, because Horeb, I believe that was referred to. He referred to it as a mountain of God. That's Sinai, if I'm not mistaken. So Yisro would have seen what was happening. You don't just have a mountain shake and remain on fire for 40 days. Or that's how long Moshe was up there. He went up the second time. So that stayed there quite a while. You don't miss that. So I do believe that I've also heard it. I also heard Yisro was like a honeybee that would go to different flowers and get the best of everything and bring it home. Not saying he was pagan, but that's just kind of who he was, high priest, but he was aware of God, at least God's mountain. But it's after the 10, after the Sinai event, that he comes and says, "Now I know your God is the God of gods." Not outright denying the other gods. He said, "It's your God that is supreme." And from that moment on, he became Ger. There is a midrash that says that he circumcised himself right then and there when he went in the tent of meeting with Moshe. I'm not so sure. That's nowhere in the text. And he didn't give himself. He was always, "I must go back to my people. I need to go back to my people." And Moshe's like, "Why don't you just come with us? We'll make a place for you in the land when we get there. You're with us. Just come on." So he never really considered himself part of Israel. That's why I would say Ger. If he was Jewish, there would be no my people over there in Midian. It would be my people here before me. So he's Ger. He knows who God is. He's not Jewish. He's not Israelite. He wasn't there to hear the 10, which was I keep using my finger. Boy, I do that. Yeah. Mass conversion is what that was. A mass conversion of the people. Even the Erev Ra were under the one law. Basically became Israelites. And it's too bad because they had to build those statues, those golden calves. Sadly. It's still the Erev Ra who appear to be leading a lot of the Torah community by the nose in a lot of ways. Don't think the Erev Ra didn't have anything to do with October 7th. that was an inside job. All right. Enough about that. Hey, you know what? Before we get back into Torah, I got an idea. How about a meme of the week, huh? We got a meme of the week. This is always going to be a meme of the week here. All right. Now, that one's good too. But now let me get the other one here. Where's the other meme of the week? Okay. First, going to take the banner down because you can't see all the memes. The memes are important. I'm a veteran of the meme wars. Been fighting them a bit lately. It's been a little harder. First off, before anybody gets mad if they see their meme pop up on here, rule of acquisition 286: if someone posts a quality meme, you are not only right to acquire it, you are obligated to acquire it. Anybody who's a veteran of the meme wars knows this is absolutely true. Today, this week, on Meme Wars, the Noahide version, gotta get one of those for my kids. I gotta get one of those for my kids. Come on, that'd be perfect. Where's another good one? Another good meme of the week. Is this a good meme of the week? What have I got here? Here it is. See, memes are good when properly used. All right. And as always, for folks over there, doing what needs to be done, and that's to end Hamas forever. Guns of Moses, baby. That's what you see when you're out there. You'll see a Torah scroll in an IDF vehicle, and to fill in on the soldiers, bring God with you on the battlefield. Where do you think Moshe went? Who do you think defeated the last of the Nephilim or Rephaim? Same race. Moshe. Moshe defeated a Nephilim, and they survived. So we're going to go here, and this flicker is distracting me. I'm sure it's distracting. It might be distracting you. Not going to mute. Let's see. Here we go. So what I want to read you is a section of the Torah that talks about the appointment of judges. And it's a system we still use to this day. And I dare say it should be done even with non-Jews. When we set up courts. Until Mashiach comes, there will be no Noahide courts. There will be no such thing. It'll be the stupidest notion on the planet. There will be no such thing. Justice will be top down from Zion, from the Holy of Holies down. Okay, we're going to see how that's worked out. It's pretty easy. I think it's rational as all get out. Again, from Yisro, Parsha Yisro, we're in verse 13 of the book of Exodus. Shmo. Okay. On the day after Yom Kippur, when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the second set of tablets, Moshe sat down to judge the people. The people stood before Moshe from the morning until the evening. Moshe's father-in-law saw what he was doing to the people, and he said, "What is this that you are doing to the people? Why do you sit by yourself while all the people stand before you from morning until evening?" Moshe said to his father-in-law, "Because the people came to me to seek God's teachings. If any of them has a claim, he comes to me, and I judge between a man and his fellow. I make known the statutes of God and his teachings." Moses' father-in-law said to him, "The thing that you are doing is not good. You will surely wear yourself out along with Aaron, Hur, and this nation that is with you. For the matter is too heavy for you. You cannot do it alone. Now listen to me. I will advise you, but let God be in agreement with you on this matter. You should represent the people before God, and you will bring their disputes to God. You will caution them about the statutes and the teachings, and you will show them the path to follow and the things that they must do. But, using divine inspiration, you should seek out from among all people financially independent men who fear God, men of truth whose words are reliable, and who hate monetary gain through litigation. You should appoint them over the people with differing levels of responsibility, leaders of thousands, leaders of hundreds, leaders of 50s, leaders of 10s. They will judge the people on a full-time basis. When any major matter arises, they will bring it to you. But the minor matters, they will judge for themselves. This will make it easier for you, for they will bear the burden with you. Now consult with God about this suggestion, and if he consents and you do this thing, you will be able to remain firm. Furthermore, Aaron, Nadu, Ahinu, and the 70 elders who are also becoming worn out will come to their destination in peace. Moshe listened to his father-in-law and did all he said. Moshe chose financially independent men from among all Israel and appointed them as heads over the people, leaders of thousands, leaders of hundreds, leaders of fifties, and leaders of tens. They judged the people on a full-time basis. They would bring any difficult case to Moses, and they judged the minor cases themselves. Moshe saw his father-in-law off, and he went away to his land to convert his family. An excellent example of how the Torah is not in chronological order. We have yet to get to Sinai, and yet we're already hearing a story about about something happening at the second set of tablets. So I'm going to check in on Rosalie. Hope all is well. Hope you're doing well, Rosalie. Hope to see you in here. I want you to join as well. That's one thing I haven't mentioned since the microphone's been on. I would love for you to join. There's a link over here, a StreamYard link, and a Kabod link. Go to the StreamYard link. All you need is a microphone. You can come in and we can discuss. Everybody's welcome, especially Torah observant Jews and rabbis. I don't like getting stuff wrong. And I want to let everybody know what I'm reading from. This was a bit of a different style. I'm going on the Chabad Bible tonight. I had a Hertz edition, but I gave it to a buddy of mine to hopefully he'll learn from it, my brother. So what I wanted to bring up, and it was in the title of the hangout tonight, while we're hanging out together, was the fact that Jethro is a ger. Yisro is a ger. He's not Jewish. His own land, his own people. He went to convert them, but he wasn't there at Sinai, so he wasn't made an Israelite. Which, when the 10 were given at Sinai, everyone was an Israelite. Okay. Horeb, the mountain of God, was on fire and smoking. Not something Yisro could miss. And now I know. Some say he circumcised himself. It's a rumor. We don't know. It's not a whole lot saying that. Even if you did, that wouldn't necessarily mean anything. But he accepted God fully right then and there, and remained separate from Israel, or not an Israelite, I should say. We can read here. We've got a lot of commentary. When you get a good chumash, you get some commentary. The Rashi says that the reason why Yisro went away was to convert his family, which was inserted up here. The Sephono says Yisro did not wish to go with the Jewish people to the land of Israel since he was already too old. Now some say it was Moshe sent off his father-in-law. This translation I read, Moshe saw his father-in-law off. I'm not real sure. Let's see. Sifsei Chakmin, if I have that right. If Yisro had gone of his own accord, then we could not be sure that he went for a productive purpose. However, since the verse states Moshe sent his father-in-law off, it is clear that Moshe had sent him to perform some good deed. Therefore, Rashi concluded he went to convert his family. And later on, I'm not sure the Parsha right off, he invites Yisro to go with him after this, and then Midian turns to junk. Midian turns into a terrible place, and they went to war with Israel, and they lost. So the Canaanite stayed with them in the end, but at this point he's ger, and he's ger then too. We'll make a place for you in the place that we're going. So he was ger. We don't like to use that word, but that's exactly what he is, and that's exactly what he becomes. Is he ger toshav? No, he goes up to his family. Doesn't make him any less a convert. does it? Is it sojourner? Toshav is a sojourner. So what is a ger and a toshav? So something different. Toshav is a sojourner. Okay. There's foreigner, and then there's ger toshav, but he was ger at this point. He comes back and becomes ger toshav when he goes off with Moshe later on. So it was just a heck of a thing that just hit me. Not just hit me, but had hit me about him, just how much he and I are alike in so many ways, because before I ever came to Torah, I was a seeker, and I would go around and take the best of all of it, just like Yisro. And it took one miracle for me to know. This is they've honored the given. The sages, the rabbis, thought so much of Jethro that they named the portion of the Torah that contains the 10 Commandments after him. That's quite a veneration. Of all the, now Mishpatim is next week. If you saw that I had Mishpatim, it still says it on Rumble. I fixed it. It's not. We're not. That's wrong. It's Yisro. I changed it. I think you should be able to. Let me see if I can refresh it on my end and see if it changes. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, you can refresh it and it gives you the right one. Me trying to plan ahead. No, I was in Yisro. I was in Mishpatim earlier, which is probably my second favorite. I don't know. Yisro is my favorite. Mishpatim would be my second favorite. So the description, everything was wrong. It's too much to do on Thursdays around here. It's way too much to do. I can never get it right. Never can get it right. And I miss my Rosalie keeping me on it. Isn't it interesting that before they even get to Sinai, they're told to rest on Shabbat? 2/3 of the people coming out of Egypt were not Israelites, and yet there they are, resting on Shabbat alongside the Israelites. Isn't that interesting? We have so many people out there who just are still hurt over the, how dare you? How dare you begin? How dare you? How dare you go against God? Oh my goodness, I haven't called a heretic this many times since the Christians used to come in and debate me on Google Plus years ago. Wow, I haven't had that word spoken to me in a long time. Cultist. Wow, haven't heard anybody say that in a long time either. And they're saying cultist now too. Oh, isn't that great? These people, these fine people. Hey, people got to relax, man. You can't keep going to war, because in the end you're going to be at war with yourself. That ain't going to do you no good. It's not going to do anybody else any good. Hit that button. Come on in here. Hit the like button. All that stuff. Do the good stuff. We're going to go into the Haftarah section of the Hebrew Bible that pertains to this week's Torah portion, but is not from the Torah itself. This week it is Isaiah chapter 6. Simple as that. I'm getting dry. Chapter 6 of Yisro, of Isaiah. In the year of the death of King Uzziah, I saw the Lord sitting on a high and exalted throne, and his lower extremity filled the temple. Sepharim stood above for him, 6 wings to each one. With 2 he would cover his face, and with 2 he would cover his feet, and with 2 he would fly. And one called to the other and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the doorposts quaked from the voice of him who called, and the house became filled with smoke. And I said, Woe is me, for I am lost. I am a man of unclean lips, and amidst the people of unclean lips I dwell. For the King, the Lord of hosts, have my eyes seen. One of the seraphim flew to me, and in his hand was a glowing coal. With tongues he had taken it from upon the altar, and he caused it to touch my mouth, and he said, Behold, this has touched your lips, and your iniquity shall be removed, and your sin shall be atoned for. And I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? And I said, Here I am, send me. And he said, Go and say this to the people, Indeed you hear, but you do not understand. Indeed you see, but you do not know. This people's heart is becoming fat, and its ears are becoming heavy, and his eyes are becoming sealed, lest he see with his eyes and hear with his ears, and his heart understand, and he repent and be healed. And I said, Until when, O Lord? And he said, Until cities become until cities be desolate without inhabitant, and houses without people, and the ground lies waste and desolate. Making sure the mute button is back off. Okay. And the Lord removes the people far away, and the deserted places be many in the midst of the land. And when there is yet a tenth of it, it will again be purged. Like the terebinth, like the oak, which in the fall have but a trunk, the holy seed is its trunk. Isn't that interesting? A coal from the altar. No blood? There's a Torah prohibition about eating blood. We've got a ways to go, folks, but we're getting there. A lot's happening in the news, which is interesting to say the least. We might just get on to that and go over to Rumble. Do that now. I think we're going to make this one a short one for the day. Bring up the Ten Commandments enough, we're going to keep talking about that as well. But we know them, and it's just a matter of keeping them. I mean, if you wonder why America's having a hard time, ask: Are they keeping the seven Noahide laws? Are they keeping the Ten Commandments? Or if not necessarily keeping the Ten Commandments, and maybe unwittingly keeping the seven, do they do it for the right reasons? I mean, some say, yeah, it's good that you don't do it doesn't matter what stops you from sinning. The fact that you just be glad they're not sinning. I'm like, yeah, but we have to do something better than that. We have to do something productive. We got to flower and fruit. It's not just withstanding wind with a strong trunk. There's more to it. We've got to be fruitful. And a lot of folks are turning around. But before I go, I'll just say this: you can't say cunt without the UN. UNRWA is helping Hamas. No, say it isn't. No, they can't. How could they be? See, Israel takes the Torah on the battlefield. Israel soldiers serving in what we're tefillin and pray and daven. They don't ask for anything else. Yeah, okay. They have a weapons deal with us. We sell weapons to them. We don't give them. We sell weapons to them. Okay. What else? They don't ask for anything else. What about Hamas and the Gazans? They're asking for money from all kinds of places. Who do they get it for? Well, us. I mean, we give it to them. We give them. If you're Barack Hussein Obama or former Vice President Joe Biden, you'll give them all they need. Gave them all that bunch of money. Now what's happened? Houthis. Thanks. Now we got you armed pirates. You're attacking us. Really? So, United Nations has decided, and I think France, the UK, and other people have decided. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And if and they they didn't mind giving the Palestinians enough money to buy bombs and stuff. They didn't mind doing that before, but now that now that they found out January 7th, really the attention of the world went to it. And you were helping them? Like, yeah, so were the journalists. There were journalists over there helping them. Turns out one of the Chinese, one of the anti-Israel, pro-Palestinian groups out there is actually funded by a Chinese company. Just look up Nancy Pelosi and Palestinian protesters. She'll tell you. She says it right there. Turns out, the Chinese are behind some of that, like directly from the a fund directly from the CCP. So UNRWA, defund UNRWA. Just get rid of it. It's stupid. You've created nowhere else in history have you ever made the descendants and then the descendants of the descendants of refugees, giving them refugee status and tons of money and benefits, and then their children's children. Now, yeah. Really? Oh, they're refugees. No, they're not refugees. They were never refugees. They were refugees after 48. Yeah. Okay, I get it. But not anymore. It's 21st century, okay? They are not refugees, and UNRWA sucks. Remember, you can't spell UN. You can't spell cunt without UN. Ain't it the truth? Ain't it the truth? All right, let's get into overtime. I need a beer. We're gonna keep going on YouTube. So let me get the. I don't have the Rumble link up, but we're gonna be over on Rumble, same channel, the Idol Smasher at the Idol Smasher, jamestheidolsmasher@gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you guys on the flip side. On the flip side.